Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Two From Home preview. We've got Newbury and Newcastle this weekend to follow on from another fantastic weekend last week with loads of winners. We're joined by Matty, and Dawn is back from France. Dawn, how was your weekend away in France?
Très fantastique, Joe. I was very taken with a lot of Arabian horses. Not Arabian men, but it was good, and big up the Qatari football at the moment, because the Qatari Arabian horses are just as good.
How was your French speaking? How the lessons going? Good?
I'm a little pressed at the moment, let's just say.
And Matty, a few winners for the yard over the last 7 days. They're going well at the minute.
Yeah, horses are flying. Hopefully keep that going for the rest of the season. Now we only need 2 more to equal our highest tally. So 42 in the bag. So we need 44 to equal our highest tally, and then the best season since Ben's trained. So I'm sure we'll get that.
I'm going that. So if you don't mind, I'm going to start off with a few quick fire questions like we did last week. Hitman, is he a King George contender? Dawn?
He is, but you know where my heart lies.
Yeah.
I like him, but I want Envoy Allen. It's his reconnaissance. He goes to the King George. I'll be screaming the house down.
Right, Matty.
He's a contender, yeah, for sure. Whether he's good enough to win a King George, I don't know.
Okay. Protectorate. Can he improve on last year's Gold Cup run, Matty?
No. I just don't think he's a Grade 1 horse.
Okay.
I really don't.
Dawn?
No, he was good last week, but is he better than what finished behind him? A Plutard, that wasn't A Plutard that turned up. I'd like to see a rematch. I don't think he'll do better with what's coming for the Gold Cup this year. No.
More on A Plutard. Can he bounce back, Dawn, or is it further problems?
Well, it was a bit of a head scratcher. Henry afterwards, he had a press day. Some of the pieces were very humbling to read. But as he said with A Plutard, it was a head scratcher. The vet checked him over. There was nothing. Now, I know from what I heard when I was in France, they were saying, oh, well, the ground might have went against him last week or whatever. But I just thought he wasn't happy from the start. Whatever is going on, physically, mentally, I don't know. But Henry said the next day he was bucking and leaping around the field. So, look, we're all entitled to off days. I just hope he's not going to be off for the season.
Okay. And Matty, we touched on last week how much a Gold could take out a horse. Is that the case with A Plutard?
Well, you'll find out on his next run. I am tempted to take the double price for the Gold Cup at the minute. I just think it's an insult, really, for a Gold Cup winner to be nearly tripled in price after one run. But yeah, Gold Cups they can destroy horses and break horses' hearts. So I don't know. I think we see his next run, and then we can see where we sit with A Plutard.
Judge. Over in Ireland, it was a bit of a low-key chase debut for Kilcrut. Is he potentially a Grade 1 chaser, Dawn?
I don't know. I've had always a kind of not a love-hate with him, but he's kind of been the almost horse, that way. Like when he just seems to be, his owner also owns Champ Kylie. And, I never shut up about Champ Kylie. I'm obsessed with the horse. Royal Bond next week. Cannot wait. He's good. Is he that good? Well, look, we look back to Constitution Hill, 22 lengths in front of John Bon. And then you had Kilcrut coming behind. Last week, he did the job. But I don't know. Is he going to be, your 20-1 each way, and he'll get you a little bit of money back? Possibly.
Matty, Kilcrut for you?
I totally agree with Dawn. I think he's just a nearly horse, to be honest.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a big fan of Champ Keeley as well. So Yeah, I agree there.
Right, staying with you, mate. State man, overrated or superstar?
Superstar. That's all you need to know.
Okay, Dawn in the boat.
Did you see what word I used? Did you see it last week, or do I say it, or will we be demonetized?
No, you can say it on here.
Horsegasm. That's what I had. A horsegasm. He is the dog's bees. I loved him. I just went, wow. And I don't care what all the experts at home say. I was standing there and I went, wow. And for me to say, wow, I don't get excited about a lot when I'm on the ground. I was excited. Horsegasm.
Right. One more horse definitely on my radar. I was definitely impressed with her. Dino Blue. I don't know if you've seen the chase debut over in Ireland last Sunday. If you owned her, Matty, would you stay with the mares or would you try against the boys?
It's hard, isn't it? She was good last weekend. I'd stick with the mares. I think she could clean up in the mares' fields, I suppose. I think she might struggle taking on the boys.
Okay. Dawn, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Matty completely. I looked at her afterwards when I got home because, you know, I had a bit of a blonde moment, Joe, at where she was, her location. I still had Parisian brain, but I'd keep her with the girls. I don't think there's where she'd go and what she'd be taking on. Nah, keep her with the girls.
Okay. Right, that's it for last week's review. Let's get stuck into this weekend. We're going to start up at Newbury at 12:45. John Frankham Novice Chase. Now, this has been one of some nice horses in the past. You've got Joe Lively, 1833, Grand Cru, Just a Par, Native River, Thistlecrack, Santini, Next Destination. And last year, of course, Ahoy Senor won it. Small field, but it's a very good field. And Matty, Time Hill's favourite, but only just. Is he your idea of the winner?
He's actually not, no. I'm a big fan of McFabulous. I know the McFabulous actual chase debut at Wincanton obviously didn't go to plan, but I thought he was very good last time, and I thought he jumped a lot better than Gelino Bello did. So I'm actually quite surprised to see Cobden has chose Gelino Bello rather than McFabulous. And Time Hill, obviously, he's a former Grade 1 winner. He's, for me to say a Grade 1 winner is just a nearly horse.
Yeah, you know what you mean.
He just is a nearly horse for me. And I just think on the day, McFabulous might just have that little bit of speed for him around Newbury. So 3-1, I think McFabulous is a nice bet.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Time Hill. It's just like, I don't know, it's one of the horse, but it's just a bit like, I don't know, just never taken to him. But Gelino Bello is a horse I actually love. He's been one of my 5 to follow. We all know how good he was as a hurdler. He was off the mark the first attempt over fences, even though he's made to work for it. I think the pace of the race was a bit of an excuse. It was a bit of a sprint. That was just education for him, for me. And I think on Saturday, we'll see a much better Gelino Bello. And I think that's why Harry Cobden's chose him. And he will have to be a much better horse. And I do think he wins. And I do think he's a future Grade 1 winner. Dawn, what about you?
Okay, well, I was split. I was very split. The only thing with McFabulous that puts me off was the Exeter run because, you know, my adamantly chosen, who's one of my 5 to follow, was Fort to Comprend at Punchestown. So I was excited to see Comprend going against McFabulous and seeing, you know, which was better. And if McFabulous had have bet Comprend, I would have said, well, great, he is McFabulous or whatever. But because Comprend went at the first, I don't know whether I'm being unfair on McFabulous. I mean, he bounced around Exeter. He really did. And when you go back and you look at, you know, he's been third to Epatante, which I like. You know, you've got Sandown with Fusel Raffles and Scaramanga, who is with Willie Mullins now, which I know I'm going to be keeping an eye on him for the season. Look, I liked his win at Exeter. I just would have hoped that something would have come for him, and I'm split. So it's between McFabulous and the favourite Tyne Hill, but I do agree he's kind of an almost horse too. What attracts me to him is maybe in the stairs, you know, he had been second to Flooring Porter. Then you had him at Aintree and he was fifth. Yeah, I think he's an almost horse too. So do I go with Tyne Hill? Do I go with McFabulous? McFabulous. I'll go with McFabulous and just go and watch bloody Tyne Hill go and do it, because my luck is whack at the moment. So McFabulous, I've done it. I'm committing.
Okay, 2 votes for McFabulous. So we move on to the 120 now. It's the Sir Peter O'Sullivan Handicap Chase. Matty, I'll give you first stab at this race. It's a fairly competitive race, as always.
Yeah, very competitive. The one I like is Zanza, Philip Hobbs.
Yep.
I mean, he's very, very inconsistent. And his form tells you that in black and white. But he surprised me last time because he ran an absolute stormer, getting quite a bit of weight off Carl Philippe of Fergal O'Brien's. And if he comes on for the run and improves for that run and doesn't throw in one of his dodgy runs, I think 10-1 is more than a fair price. He was placed at Cheltenham off 145 behind Cool Cody not so long ago. And tomorrow on Saturday, he's off 134. So I just think he's probably well weighted. He's had a nice prep run. It's just whether he doesn't throw in a dodgy run.
Yeah, he's definitely the type of horse to win this race. Dawn, Cap Course, his favourite, and last year's winner, obviously, back to back.
Yeah, I don't know, Joe. I went digging. Because you know yourself, some of these big ones, you know, a handicap, I'm not that familiar with all of them, and I wouldn't have my finger on the pulse. Yeah, I do remember him winning. A little bit sketchy, just with what his form and that, and pulling up and everything else. And I have a 20-1 in here. And I have gone with who I really like is, and Nathan Brennan's taken 7 off her, is Theatre Glory. She's by Fame and Glory, and you see the Fame and Glories are doing well national hunts as well.
Dawn, I think that's the next race, I think.
Am I on the... Oh, sorry.
Mr.
That's going to have to be cut out. Sorry. Oh, God, Joe, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Jesus. Can that be cut out? You see, I'm not fully with it. Fuck.
We're on the Chase. Have you got the Chase?
I've got the Chase. Sorry. I'm looking at your Cap Course, and I'm looking at Champagne Court and Mr. Coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, I've skipped one. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I actually like Cap Course myself. I mean, Kitty's Light, Dawn knows. Of course, I've backed no end in the past, but Kitty's Light is in me past, and it can't have him anymore. Cap Course won this in 2018, 7th 2020, and won again last year off £6 lower. I agree with Dawn. He's just a bit in and out, but this is his campaign right here. He just shows up to this race and wins, I think. So Cap Course for me. So we're on the intermediate hurdle now, Dawn. You're throwing me then for a bit.
I am so sorry.
It's the 2:30. We already know what you're going for, Dawn. Do you want to start again?
Once more with feeling, Joe. I told you I'm not with it this week at all. I'm losing it. Sorry, but if they win, it'll be even better. Anyway, as they say in Dublin, I'm scarlet for you. I'm scarlet for me. Theatre Glory. 3 from 3. Nathan Brennan takes 7 off. She's carrying 11.5. Really, really like her form. Lady Rita, she bet Lady Rita in April, and Lady Rita runs at Navan on Sunday. Rachel Blackmore's up. The Mayor's Novice at Warwick in January, 9.5 length win. And her win at Kelso I really liked, which Nathan Roder there as well. So I think Theatre Glory, Fame and Glory, I really like her. And just as a little each way, a 20-1, Gary Moore's See the Stars. You know, we looked at Cheltenham a couple of weeks ago, and his horse, another See the Stars, Perseus Way, who I quite liked, was second to Scriptwriter. But this horse was previously trained by Freddie Head. It's won at Fontwell and beating Jamie Snowden's Cornicello, who only won recently. Second behind, in turn, the Cello at Cheltenham, and then in December, that form there is Stage Star form, and then was third in November 2021 to Night Salute. So, I mean, Gary Moore and a See the Stars, it's a nice combination. And just maybe even worth just looking at, you know.
Definitely. Well, I'm with you on Theatre Glory. She's 5 from 6 from the rules, rated 137. It's worth remembering the Yard won this a couple of years back with another mare, who is Epatante, obviously. So the Yard now has to win this race. Nathan Brennan, £7 off. I actually think she's going to be very, very tough to beat on Saturday. Matty, what about you?
I'm with Dawn. This is my each way nap of the day. Yorksea of Gary Moore's. I just think, obviously, its juvenile form is second to none. I mean, being beat 3 lengths by Night Salute is, I mean, it's not bad form at all. A little bit worried about the layoff. It hasn't run since Boxing Day. Nearly a year ago, which obviously is a long time. But with a mark of 123, and Niall Houlihan taking an extra £3 off, it only carries 10 stone 2. And I just think it could definitely outrun its odds. 20-1 in places. I actually got big fan of it, and I think it will be in the 3.
Okay, big confident each way bet. So now we move on to the days. Well, it's definitely Newbury's main event, and that is the Coral Gold Cup. Not the biggest of fields, considering it's a max field of 24. It's a bit disappointing, really, but there we go. Dawn, Coral Gold Cup Saturday. What do you like?
Is it not the Ladbrokes show?
I don't know what it is anymore.
A rose is but a rose by any name, but whoever wins. Anyway, I know we were having the debate about will Bustleton go there? Will Bustleton go to the Tri-Town? I see he's declared for this. I see that, you know, JJ's up. So I've been banging on about Bustleton since his win in the Kerry National. I know people argue that if Ewick stayed up, he would have won it, but still. Then you go back to, okay, it was the Turners at Cheltenham. Yeah, okay. Look, Galopin Deschamps, Bob Ollinger, and then Bustleton was what? He was 40 lengths behind, but still he was 40 lengths behind at 50-1. He had a nice flat win during the summer as well. And the ground is good, they're saying. So Bustleton should really like it. And Joseph ain't going to send him over for nothing, you know. And JJ Slevin is heaven. When he's on, he is fantastic. Now, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, he will run there. If he doesn't, you know, because, you know, we've had so many pullouts the last couple of weeks. You know what I say about them. But if it's not Bustleton, I like the look of Remastered. You have a little bit of form there. You have him fort behind Royal Pagaille in a handicap in January. 5th to Galvin in Cheltenham in 2021. Originally came from Liz Doyle in Ireland, who is very, very shrewd and very, very good. And he's recently won at Aintree's handicap hurdle and bet Milan Bridge by 4 lengths. And we see Milan Bridge win last week at Ascot. So, yeah, if not Bustleton, Remastered, but Bustleton, he goes. To me, he wins.
Okay. Matty, is the trophy going back to Ireland or is it staying here?
It's staying here and it's going to David Pipe.
Which one?
Jericho Rock.
Yeah.
I know he's a seconditis horse and he always finishes second. But it looks like Scudamore has obviously had the pick of the two. He ran a stormer at the festival behind Coac Rambler, and he was only getting £2 that day off Coac Rambler, and I think he's getting about £8 or £9 this weekend.
Yeah, close. Yeah,
massive weight swing, and Coac Rambler's nearly favourite, I believe. So I think you can get about 9-10 to 1 for Jericho Rock, and I know he's a second tightest horse, they say, and never wins. He loves coming second, but I think Scooter Moore's picked him for a reason. I think he will almost win.
Glad you said that, mate. So I'm with you on Jericho Rock as well. He ran in a potential qualifier last time out. He's never going to run in the final of that. That was just all day a prep run. And if you rule that race out, he's never been out front free. So that's another positive. It's like second in a classic chase at Warwick. Coac Rambler was 6 lengths behind that day. Obviously £9 less, but that's similar to what we're going to get on Saturday. I think wherever you see Coac Rambler finishing, this lad is going to be there or thereabouts. So, like you say, Coac Rambler's joint favourite. Native River and Trio Delan, both 6-year-old winners of the race. So the age worry me at all. And on with you, Jericho Rock. I think great bet. Just a quick one before we move on. I'm doing some digging and for a big each way. Dawn, can Lost in Translation do it or even come in the front three?
We've seen a lot of romance the last couple of weeks. You know, we've seen a lot of romance. We had Froden and the Badger Bears. You had Cody's Wish and Breeders. You had horses coming back who probably were standing in fields like some of their layoffs and have come back and just won. And you know, on a Saturday, sitting there having your cup of tea watching, wouldn't it be magic if he did it? It would be magic. The realist in me says no. The romantic in me says yes.
Before I ask you, mate, I'm curious. The last 10-year-old to win this was size in Tennessee, trained by Tizad. Mark of 150 is his lowest since 2019. He was 15th in the national and last seen. He didn't quite get home, but he ran a great race to a certain point. His record fresh: second, first, third, first. And only 12 months ago, he was winning at Ascot, 160 rating. Freddie takes £7 off. Newbury should definitely suits him. He's that he can settle a bit better. It's not as sharp as Kempton, like, for example, the bad results in the King George. I just think if you're allowed to find a rhythm, mate, he could run a big race at a massive price. What do you think?
I agree. He could run a massive race. I think the ground might be just a bit too lively for him, maybe. I know we had a lot of rain over the last couple of days, but it'll be genuine good to soft. He wants proper dig in the ground, and I can see him running a great race. I just don't think he'll be quite there.
Okay, it's worth asking. So we move on to Newcastle now. They're Grade 1, fighting 5th, and Ascot's lost, is Newcastle's gained. And the best horse in training is going up north to Newcastle. Matty, I know you like State Man, but Constitution Hill, he's an absolute weapon, isn't he?
He just wins. I don't even know what he's running against. I haven't even looked. I know he's running against Epiton, and that's it. I presume not so sleepy he's running.
Yeah.
Silver Streak running, I always runs in that. No, he's a weapon. Absolute freak. But yeah, he'll win on Saturday, and then he'll go win a Christmas hurdle or whatever he goes for, Contenders hurdle, or whatever, Henderson's normal route. But yeah, I don't know where my heart's going to be come March.
Dawn, can Epiton, a former champion hurdle, get Constitution Hill off the bridle?
No, Joe. Look, I love her. I do love her. I love her as much as Aidan Coleman loves her. And, you know, his marvellous quotes about a good woman. And when she won at Aintree, you know, he said, all you need is a good woman to do that. And she is a good woman, but unfortunately, she's seeing a lot of honeysuckles bottom. And I fear now she's going to see a lot of Constitution Hill's bottom. And I just think, look, it's unfortunate. It was a series of unfortunate events with, will he run at Ascot? Won't he run at Ascot? Everybody lost their tiny minds because he didn't run at Ascot. He's going to the fighting fifth now. Gordon said once Nicky had left Constitution Hill in an Epatante, Piper was coming out. So I think it's Constitution Hill and then Epatante looking at his bottom. And Not So Sleepy Matty, he is in there and he will cause a little bit of chaos, I'd say. A little bit of drama. We need a little bit of Coronation Street in there just to keep us excited. But I know, look, Nicky even said the other day he was looking at Constitution Hill. He did 5, he jumped 5 and he said he's seen nothing like him. You know, and I don't think, I adore Honeysuckle and I cannot wait. And State Man, throw him in there. It's going to be the race of the century. It's going to be the double cheeseburger with no gherkins. But I've seen Constitution Hill and he looks like he's got the body of Christ on him this year. So, amen, he'll win the fighting fifth. Then the rest. Poor Epatante should be looking at his backside. But it's a nice one to be looking at.
It's nearly a year ago to the day. I was at Sandown on talking to Jay on the way home, Matty. And we both just said he won at Sandown that day. That's the supreme winner right there.
Yeah.
Luckily, we got that right. We get a lot wrong, but we got that one right. Now, luckily, Nico's on a horse on Saturday, you can pretty much do anything with. Now, where do you position yourself when you're not so sleepy?
As far as way possible. As far as way possible. Because you won't beat it to the first.
No,
for sure. So if you're on Constitution Hill, you're still in the stable. You are waiting for Not So Sleepy to jump the first 2.
Yeah, and still win.
And then you still win.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like what Barney Curley used to say. I have a feeling Not So Sleepy is a bloody takeout merchant in this. But
yeah.
He's not to be taken. You're not to take Constitution Hill out. Just please,
no.
Whatever you're going to do, just do it in your own time. Leave the king alone, please.
That's it. So Constitution Hill wins the fighting fifth and wins it well. So rehearsal handicap now, 3:25. And Dawn, I know you've been itching to say the name of this horse since the start of the season. So who wins the rehearsal handicap chase?
L'Empress with 12 stone on his back. But still, I was dying for him last week and I was about to curse, sorry. I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated when the text came through that he wasn't coming or he wasn't running. Look, his third, 18 lengths behind a Hoi Senor. It didn't go his way that day. He didn't get a lot of room. He's way, way better than that to me. And we've discussed this. That's my Gold Cup horse. And that's me saying that about an English horse, whereas usually I'm banging on about the Irish and Galloping de Champ, etc., etc. But he's just, he's fantastic. And like that race, I will forget about where he was third. But then you go, well, Fury Road was second that day. Fury Road's gone on and won nicely at Down Royal a couple of weeks ago too. So you've your bit of that. But you're looking at like that Browns win. Ahoy Senor was looking at his back end that day. And you've got 1-1, 1-1-1. And then that little misdemeanor at Aintree. So yeah, L'Empress all the way. And L'Empress Gold Cup horse.
As you know, he's my idea of the Gold Cup winner at the minute as we speak. I just love this. He's top weight here off 164. Big ass. Let's not beat around the bush. To win this off top weight, he's going to take some effort. But to win a Gold Cup, he's going to have to improve on that 164 anyway. So hopefully he come back to this season, he's proven that 164. And if he does improve on it, he wins Saturday. It's as simple as that. All right. I love all right. I think he might be good for forecast purposes. Always runs his race. Just a solid option. If you want a horse to run to his mark every day of the week, it's him. But La Home Press for me. Matty, you in the camp?
I like the Home Press. I think he's an absolute monster. I'm just slightly worried about Venetia's form.
She's starting to get better, isn't she?
Just over the last couple of days, she's had a couple of winners. But I'm going to stick with I Right on this one occasion. I just think, get him weight. He always runs his race. He's had the benefit of a run. Obviously, the Home Press is a better horse than I Right, but I just think on Saturday, get him weight, benefit of a run. I think I Right. I mean, obviously, said La Home Press has to improve to win a Gold Cup, which he is more than capable of doing so.
Definitely.
Yeah. But if the ground's good to soft come March. I don't know. It's just Venetian and soft ground. They're just.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with I Right, but the Home Press will take him all the way, and will put up a good fight, especially carrying 12 stone.
Reverse forecast, MA?
Yeah, definitely solid option.
Okay, so we're going to start off with any other business now. Let me just quickly run through my three from this weekend. I think 12:15 Newbury, Lucia, Nicky Henderson. She's a high class mare. Can't wait to see her. The 155 Newbury, back to Henderson again, walking on air. Blew up at Aintree. Keep the faith with him. He should be well up to improving on his 132 rating. Therefore, he should be winning this Saturday with ease. And quickly, Troy Town. I think Dawn's got one in the Troy Town as well. Obviously, this is Thursday night, so we haven't got the final decks. But if Deafy Blue is declared, just beating the Court National, beaten by, bottom weight and some by Captain Kangaroo, I think it was. £3 rise justified. He deserves to win a race like this, and Deafy Blue, I think he'll be a fantastic each-way bet if he lines up. Dawn, any other weekend business for you?
Well, I'm just going to have to stick in there to just, for the viewers. Sam Crow Sunday last week. We need to mention that again. 35 lengths, Joe.
That's three of the last four Sundays.
He's got an entry for the cross country. So, just putting it out there wherever he goes next. Just putting it out there. Not tomorrow, Saturday, Garin, the beginner's chase, Manila Cocooner, we get to see again. Loved him at the Dublin Racing Festival, thought he was fantastic. Then ended up second to the Nice Guy at Cheltenham. He's in the beginner's chase. I think he'll beat Classic Getaway. Classic Getaway to me breaks my heart a lot of the time. So yeah, best keep an eye on him. You've also got Dawn Rising coming out as well, who was third to Champ Kiley. He's entered for the Royal Bond next week, so I hope he runs this week too, just to see, because we don't see a lot of him. And for the Troy Town, Gordon is mob-handed at the moment because this is kind of Gordon's nav, and he likes to clear the card basically. So he's throwing every dart. Now I've seen Frontal Assault is 3-1 at the moment. I'm thinking they're probably liking Frontal Assault because of his win ahead of Darren's Hope. We've seen Darren's Hope win, on Sunday. Great story, lovely guy who owns her. 20-1, bit of a shocker because they thought the other Manila Cooner was going to get to her, but didn't. But out of them, and if he runs, I think Far Class at 10-1 has a great chance. He was second in it last year to Run Wild Fred, and Run Wild Fred isn't in it. So, when we were in there for, the open day and that, I thought Far Class looked fantastic. He runs 10-1 for the Troy Town. Like him a lot.
Okay. Matty, anything for you or any Ben's runners we need to keep an eye out for?
We've got a lovely horse running at Bangor on Saturday, Harper's Brook. He finished second over fences, first time over fences at Carlisle a few weeks back. We've always thought quite highly of him. He fell at Cheltenham in a Grade 2 trial around January over hurdles. Lovely horse. And I echo your thoughts on walking on air. I actually think he's a Grade 1 horse in a handicap off 132.
Yeah.
So I think he just wins.
Okay. You're decent enough price as well. I couldn't
3 to 1. You can.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Decent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Thanks for watching, everyone. And Matty and Dawn, good luck at the weekend. And we'll be back next week with, it's Tingle Creek Day, my favourite race day of the whole year. And hopefully we get Kishkin, Grenadine and Edwardstone. So thanks for watching. Have a good week, everyone.